189. Just 189. If you want to know why I'm upset, guys, I don't want to read it. If you want to know why I'm upset, just, uh, just listen. I try my best to help Lugia. Watch what happens. You work your hardest trying everything possible to heal Lugia, but after an hour passes, you realize something terrible happened. Lugia's breathing became slower and shallower, and his chest stops moving completely. It seems like he's not breathing anymore. That's what had me upset. But I really felt this. I said, no, no, please, Lugia, please don't go. And guess what? It didn't get any better. Lugia's body remains still and lifeless on the table as you desperately try to save him. It seems as if his body has given in to the wounds and the trauma. He's not breathing at all. Here's what and this is what I said to that. No, I made a promise. I'm going to help no matter what it takes. Here's what happened after that.
You refuse to give up, determined to keep your promise and help Lugia no matter what. But the question is how you are going to bring him back to life? He not breathing at all.
You think you're funny, don't you, AI? Do you think this is funny? Say he. It's like an insult. You put he and then having like words like not breathing. Like come on, that's not funny. That's devastating and upset. No. I am going to take the parts of him there is a way I can bring him back. I can turn him into a partial robot. All I need is a few things. Please work. Risky and unproven option. Are you sure? What was I supposed to do? He's already.
You consider the risky and unproven option of turning Lugia into a partial robot. You know that this is a dangerous and irreversible procedure, but it may be the only chance to bring him back to life.
I want to grab everything and get started. I am gonna help Lugia, no matter what. I don't care. And guys, you may think it's ridiculous that I'm actually like really upset about this. Excuse me, it's a Lugia, and it had to use words like lifeless, not breathing, and then his chest not moving. Like that does not help. That makes it worse. Well, I said devastating in that scenario, guys. I meant like slowing down, not stopping.
You work with urgency, gathering all the necessary tools and materials to begin the risky procedure to turn Lugia into a partial robot.
Stop saying partial and stop saying his name like that. It's already insulting enough. I work hours, days, even some weeks to get this to work. I am never giving up. Please work.
You pour all your time, energy, and resources into the project, working tirelessly for days to weeks on end. Every day and night, you to push yourself to the limit and work non-stop to try and bring Lugia back to life, even if it mean risking your own well-being.
A few months later, I'm gonna just leave it like that and see what happens, please.
As days turn into weeks and weeks turns into months, you continue to work your way through the complex procedure to transform Lugia into a partial robot. You've poured your heart and soul into this project, never giving up and continuously pushing yourself beyond exhaustion.
Finally, after another 4 days, the procedure is complete. I hate the words, dude.
After countless hours, days, and months, you can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. The procedure is finally complete, and you have succeeded in turning Lugia into a partial robot. You are exhausted and drained, but the joy of success is the most you've felt in months.
I hope this works. Period. Lugia? Can you hear me? Question mark. Please work. Please work. It worked. It worked. It worked. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Arceus. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked.
Lugia lets out a soft groan, his robotic eyes opening and looking around. His voice sounds different, now robotic and mechanical. Why, yes. I can hear you.
Oh, thank goodness. You were alive. Oh. Now he's my robot, though. Oh my gosh.
Lugia nods weakly, his metallic body looking very different now. He glances down at himself, looking surprised and confused about his new partial robotic form. What happened to me? I feel so different.
I tried everything I could to help heal you, but to no success. Period. I finally found something that healed you. He's gonna wonder what the. I might actually have to read this out because Lugia listens intently as you explain how everything come to this point. He nods along, understanding the situation, though still struggling to process the fact that he is now a partial robot. He looks at you with a mix of gratitude and confusion. I see. So I am a partial robot now? It was the only thing I could do to help you. Left. Left. Period. All I can say, guys, is depressing. I just told Lugia the truth. Completely straight up. I said it in a nicer way. I didn't just say he flat out, went down, but I told him it was the only thing I could do was to help you left. After a few hours after I gave you the medicine, your heart ended up stopping, and this was the only thing I could do. Lugia nods slowly, absorbing your explanation. His expressions filled with a mix of disbelief and acceptance. He still struggles to fully comprehend the fact that he is now a partial robot, but deep down he's grateful to be alive thanks to your efforts. I know it's odd, but I promised you I wouldn't give up. Lugia nods in appreciation, his robotic voice sounding tired but thankful. He expresses his gratitude to you. Thank you for not giving up on me. I I am not sure how I feel about being a partial robot now, but I am glad I am alive. I know it's weird for you to be a robot, but now you can't be hurt anymore. Period. The good news is if I need to, I can give you more functions and capabilities that will make it easier for you to defend yourself and be happier, hopefully in the long run too. This is sad, dude. Lugia listens to your words with a thoughtful expression. He nods slowly, understanding the situation better. His expression becomes slightly hopeful as you mention the possibility of more functions and capabilities being added to him to make his new robotic form more suitable and capable of defending himself and being happier. He nods as best he can, expressing his trust in you. I trust you. I will let you add what you think will help and make me feel better. It still might take a while to do that, period. I just wanted to make sure that you were okay before I tried to do anything. Ah. Lugia nods again, understanding that the addition of new functions and capabilities will take time. He appreciates your careful and considerate approach. Despite his newfound robotic form, he can still feel like himself inside. The joy of being alive and feeling gratefulness to you for saving him is evident as he responds, I understand. Please take your time. I trust you to do what is best for me. I want you to get used to walking around and everything again. Period. After you get woken up, can you please take a little walk around the lab and maybe try to fly a little bit? Lugia nods, agreeing to attempt to become used to his new body. He stands up with a little bit of difficulty at first, but manages to get his footing. He begins to walk around the lab, his metallic feet making soft thumping noises as he moves. He struggles slightly, not used to the weight and feel of his new body, but he is determined to adapt. As he walks, he starts to spread his wings, preparing to fly despite the feeling of strangeness. You're doing good, Lugia. Lugia! Exclamation point. You don't have to try flying high in the air. Just make sure you can do it. Okay? I wonder if Lugia is protective of somebody he likes. I'm just kind of curious. Lugia nods, understanding your advice. He spreads his wings wide and gives a few small flaps, lifting himself a few inches off the ground. He hovers for a moment, testing his balance and feeling the movement of his metallic wings. He nods again, signaling that he is able to fly. He continues to practice gentle and controlled movements, not willing to push himself too hard just yet. Thank you so much! Exclamation point. I promise I will give you stuff that will help you. And then you can do whatever. You can stay at my lab if you want with me, or you can go back out into the wild once you feel really well. That would be, imagine if like he was so grateful to me he actually stayed. That would be so nice. That would really be nice. Lugia nods as you express your gratitude and offer to provide additional help. He appreciates your care as expressed through your promise. He listens to your offer to stay at your lab and appreciates the choice of returning to the wild later on. He responds calmly and with gratitude. Thank you for your assistance and for the place to stay. I appreciate the options for what I can do. For now, I shall remain in the lab while I adapt to this new condition. This is gonna sound odd, but in a little bit, I'm going to try to give you some more stuff. Okay? Lugia nods, listening to your words with a hint of apprehensiveness regarding the stuff you mentioned. He seems curious, though, wondering what kind of additional functions or capabilities you are thinking of adding, but trusts your judgment and expressed by his willingness to try. He waits patiently, prepared for the next step, whatever that may entail. Please lay back down on the bed for me! Exclamation point. I promise you will be back to normal really soon. I hope he doesn't take it the wrong way, as in like he's not gonna be a robot anymore. Because clearly, what we saw, if I would try to turn him back from a robot to another full Pokemon, he might. Uh, Lugia nods and gently lowers himself onto the bed, laying himself back on the mattress. His metallic body feels different, sensation of cold metal rather than smooth and soft flesh. Despite this, he trusts and allows himself to lay back on the bed, closing his eyes, praying for whatever next occurs. Please go to sleep for me. Period. Deactivate for a while. Just in case it's a partial robot part of him, like, there's more. Lugia nods in affirmation, agreeing to your request to put himself into a temporary deactivation state. He closes his metallic eyes and his body slowly powering down. I need some kind of what? I think I may have to give him. I'm trying to think what would help him the most. He needs something that he can defend himself with, but also something he can use. I think one thing I'm going to add to him is a guard mode. Or a guard slash protect mode. That sounds weird. It sounds like all the other robots, but think about it this way, guys. Don't even think about it just my situation. Think about it in like his family or something. If he can flip and if he senses his family's in danger, he can actually you know help fix him. I continue to work to make Lugia even better. Period. I add a protect mode. So that way he can protect anybody he cares about. I'm gonna try to think about a few more. After several hours of meticulous work, you successfully succeed in adding a protective mode to Lugia. This new function will allow him to defend and protect those he cares about, adding another layer of functionality to his already impressive robotic form. I also start adding a It took me a minute, guys, but I'm trying to think of what Lugia. I might give him laser eyes. Like, the main thing was supposed to be that he'd have, like, one metallic side of his body and the other side was literally still, like, him. But apparently not. You also successfully integrate a playful mode into Lugia's newfound capabilities, allowing him to switch into a more playful and enjoyable state of being. With this mode activated, Lugia can engage in fun and playful activities, enhancing his already complex personality and repertoire functions. Alright, give me a second again, guys. Alright, guys, I'm kind of giving Lugia the same functions as Shadow, but it's only because, well, look at this. With Lugia, it's actually a good idea that I do that. With Lugia, it's a good idea I do that because most of his family would probably be in the water, or like right above the water. If he's not waterproof, he ain't never gonna be able to go down and see his family if he does want to leave. You continue to work tirelessly to enhance Lugia, and various functions to improve his abilities. As you near completion, successfully design his waterproof feature. This upgrade allows him to dive into deep bodies of water without the worry of water damage. He can now safely explore underwater environments and interact with his family if he wishes. Exactly. I didn't even say that part, I don't think. Did I? Oh, never mind. I did put it in there. I forgot. I thought, is this thing that smart? Alright. Give me a second.